talked about having so many businesses. What do you base on when you start in this business? You said you have some tourism, some property. So what do you base on when you start?
Very few people start businesses because they know where they're going to end up with. No. First of all, when I started business, I was just a hungry man who needed to put food on the table. That was my inspiration. But I had also known the principle which I told you earlier on. I knew that I needed to build a skill. I started as a cleaner in the tourism industry, went and became an office manager in the tourism industry, became a tour guide in the tourism industry, and I knew that I had accumulated enough knowledge. But I also knew that much as I've accumulated enough knowledge, I actually loved it. Are you seeing what I'm talking about? So when I started, it was hard. I was working 18 hours a day. Even now, my son can tell you that I work so many hours a day. I can go home, play with them a bit, but work sometimes late in the night. Sometimes I work 18 hours a day. That's what I do. But when I reached a certain level, I realized, hey, what inspired me to work hard was a hungry stomach. I needed to buy clothes. I needed to, fight poverty. At one point, I have some money on the account, and I started getting confused. I'm not happy. I can only put on one trouser at the go. I can only eat a certain amount of food. What I used to admire, like meat, I don't even like eating. I started asking myself, so why do I even have money? Then I started asking myself those questions. Those questions led me to understanding that I have a much bigger purpose to life than my eating. I started seeing the people that work with me as a value I'm adding back to society. See what I'm talking about? Then I started learning how to build teams. When I started learning how to build teams, I built the first business, was successful, Great Lake Safaris, built Primate Lodge, was successful because I knew how to build a team for Great Lakes. I knew how to build a team for Primate. Primate Lodge and Great Lake Safaris built a third one, Simba Safari Camp, like that. This one started building, and I knew how to build team. But I also see around, every time I'm traveling, I'm curious. I don't just sit there. When I'm traveling, I'm saying, there can be a stopover here. There can be this. If your mind is a business, you condition your mind all the time. But when you're young, don't fear risk. Fear risk when you're older.